Most men spend a lot of time looking backward. If I could do that over, if I had made a different choice, if I hadn't failed. But what if the thing you're calling a mistake is actually part of what made you who you are? What if the loss taught you something the win never could? Today, we're talking about disappointment, failure, humility, and why the setbacks in your life may be carrying gifts you haven't opened yet. This is Evolving Manhood.
You know, I really don't have regrets. I am a person that says, you know, as soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change. You know, so
What about your biggest disappointment?
once again, that's the same analogy. You know, disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privilege.
Stop fighting your history. One of the most dangerous habits a man can develop is rewriting his past. We spend years wishing we could erase a bad decision, remove a failure, or undo a painful season. But here's the problem. If you remove the struggle, you also remove the lesson. If you remove the failure, you remove the growth. If you remove the disappointment, you remove the wisdom that came with it. The experiences we wish hadn't happened often become the very experiences that shape our character. Success doesn't teach everything. Failure teaches things success never can.
Baseball. And everybody says, oh, it was a failed opportunity to play baseball. You know, that's what they think. For me, it was the best thing that could have happened for me because it allowed me to go back to the game with a stronger passion. At the same time, I was able to understand the love that these minor league baseball players have, making $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month, which is nothing. But for them, it was big. To me, to see that helped me put things in perspective, to understand the platform that I was on in 93, that when I went back to it in 95 and 96, I appreciated it even greater.
The world celebrates results. Men grow through process. Most people only pay attention to outcomes. They see the championship. They don't see the training. They see the promotion. They don't see the rejection. They see the finished product. They don't see the process. A mature man learns to value the process more than the applause. Everybody else saw failure. He saw growth. Everybody else counted statistics. He counted lessons. That's what mature men do.
You know, don't wear your reputation, don't wear your accolades, don't wear your personality on your sleeve. Let it happen, let it be you. It is who you are. Don't hide from it, but don't wear it and rub it in people's faces.
Don't wear your accomplishments. Today's culture encourages self-promotion. Show everybody your achievements, broadcast your wins, build your image. But true confidence doesn't need constant attention. A secure man doesn't need to announce his greatness. His character speaks before he does. Humility isn't weakness. It's confidence without arrogance.
What would my father do right now? First of all, he'd probably be sitting here smoking a cigar and answering some of the questions that he's a very thoughtful guy. You know, the thing that I remember the most about my father, and, you know, I had him for 32 years, you know, and I never look at it from a negative sense. Obviously, he was murdered and rarely do I get the chance to talk about him, you know, but the thing that I do remember all the time, you know, I think about him practically every day, is for a person like myself who live in the spotlight and is so critical, you know, from people all the time in terms of what I do, what I say, you know, where I go. The thing he's always said, take a pause, before you make a decision and say, what if? And the purpose for saying what if is that whatever decision you make, always either going to have consequences, either pros and cons.
No, but
The what-if test. One of the greatest lessons in this interview came from a father. A simple phrase, what if? Before making a decision, pause and ask, what if this goes wrong? What if there are consequences? What if someone I love is affected? Most bad decisions happen because men react before they reflect. The pause is powerful. The pause protects. The pause creates wisdom.
I mean, once again, it's not just my father. My mother calls me practically every day, reiterating, keep your nose clean. She ends the conversation of every time I hang up, as opposed to me, hey, obviously we say, I love you, Mom, can't wait to see you, talk to you soon, blah, blah, blah. Her last word is keep your nose clean. That's her constant reminder to say, hey, look, people are watching. People are learning, people are paying attention. And
The voices that shape a man. Every man carries voices with him, some destructive, some life-giving. The question is, which voices are you listening to? Notice something. Even after all the success, even after all the fame, the lessons from home still mattered. Good men never outgrow wise counsel.
but the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything, So that's the things that my father and my mother instilled in me. Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail.
Don't be afraid to fail publicly. Many men stay stuck because they're afraid of embarrassment. They're afraid of looking foolish. They're afraid of what people might say. So they never move. They never try. They never risk. The fear of failure has stolen more dreams than failure itself ever could. Growth requires risk. Growth requires courage. Growth requires action.
At the end of the day, my time in the spotlight is dwindling, and I want to be able to control what I can, what I do and what I don't want to do, and blah blah blah. Someone else needs to step into the limelight and either enjoy it, or prosper from it, or grow, or have people understand who they are, blah blah blah. Me, I need no more admiration. I've had enough, and it's been great. I'm still going to be a very positive, force within the community, and with the kids of tomorrow. But I got my own kids. I got my own wife. I'm 54 years old. I want to be able to go through a day or go through a week, not worrying about what I got to do Wednesday, what I got to do Thursday, what I got to do, because I never enjoy Monday. I want to be able to, and sometimes I surprise myself saying, look, I got nothing to do today. Oh, I got nothing to do tomorrow. I got nothing to do on Wednesday. That to me is ultimately retirement. That's where I want to be. And if I choose to get involved in things, then hey, I want to go to Charlotte. I want to see what's happening with the team. Or I want to go to Portland, spend a week out in Portland, blah, blah, blah. But not to where, my moment, the moment that I'm living right now, I'm worried about what I have to do tomorrow. And that's where my life was getting.
Take a sheet of paper and write down 3 disappointments from your life. For each one, answer, what lesson did this teach me? How did it make me stronger? What wisdom do I have because of it? What positive thing eventually came from it? Look for the gift hidden inside the loss. Final thoughts. The man who evolves isn't the man who avoids failure. He's the man who learns from it. At some point, every man discovers something important. Success isn't just about achievement. It's about perspective. It's about peace. It's about becoming a man who values growth more than applause. Don't spend your life trying to erase your failures. Learn from them, grow through them, Use them because every setback has the potential to become a foundation. And that is how manhood evolves. The strongest men aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who turn every failure into wisdom and every disappointment into growth. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.